Originally the intro, Skepta produced the intro, and I had the lyrics done already, and this instrumental I had it was just a beat that was just like I just made to like kind of write lyrics to. Sometimes I just make beats just to literally write a bar to. The beat never sees the light of day, but this was one of those beats. But when I first made it, it was still unfinished, so I played it to a couple people by accident. They heard it and was like, no, this is proper, like, you know what I mean? So from there I kind of went back into it and opened it up and added a few things to it, and then the more I was listening to it, the last sound that I added to it, it kind of like put the cherry on top. It was like signed and sealed, because it kind of gave the whole vibe of the song and the song attached to the actual project of it being called British Nights. So that's what happened there. I just got the vocal and put it over that and see how it sounded, and it sounded perfect. It was like it was meant to be. So I produced another track on there called Jermaine, and I originally produced that for my album, but I decided to use it for this project because it kind of fit with the vibe as well. But production wise, I'm definitely going to be doing more production, because I think you're right, I've never really pushed my production to the forefront of what I'm doing. The only time I've released production stuff is like when it just, because I don't like especially with production, it don't come to me like how the bars and lyrics come to me. It's just the production is a thing where I gotta be in the right vibe and the right mood to make a good beat. I can't just say, alright, today I'm gonna go home and make a beat, because it don't come to me like that. And I don't like to force stuff. So anytime I've put anything out production wise, it's because it's come naturally. When people have heard it, they've related to it and they've resonated to it straight away. So I can't really say anything more than that about the production. But apart from, I'm gonna be doing more of it. There's so much stuff, like that's a hard question, because there's so much things I could say, really. But if I try and sum it up in one, it would be that them using their authority in the wrong way. That's the best way I could sum up everything without picking out everything that I don't agree with, because there's so much stuff that they do that I don't agree with. But that would be the main thing, them using their authority in the wrong way, basically, which I'm sure a lot of people have witnessed for themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? But I've witnessed it a lot, especially where I've grown up, and I'm probably not where I've grown up in a lot of areas. People probably experience the same thing, but that would be the main thing I'd say. You know what I mean? But it's just, I've never really, me speaking about the police and that, I've said a few things before in the past, but it's never been something that people have noticed, and that's only because of what's happened in the last, what I've seen and what I've experienced in the last 3 to 4 years. That's why it's more prominent in music now than it was before. Yeah, this tune, What Did We Do? I just wanted to basically speak about everything that I've never spoke about before. Like, I'm quite a private person, and I think musically at a stage, that's where I got to kind of a block, like, alright, what else am I going to speak about now? Like, what else is there to talk about? But really there's loads to talk about. It's just that I didn't at that time didn't really want to let people into certain things, and I just wanted to keep my business to myself. But I realised that, you know, sometimes you gotta just put it all on the table, especially as an artist, as a musician. Like, you want people to know you, the real you, not just what you show them. Like, you want them to know you, whether they like it or not, whether they agree with what you're saying or not, that's you. I mean, so I wanted to do a song where there was no chorus, there was nothing about the song, it was just strictly about what I'm talking about. And that's why I done What Do We Do? And that song there is just literally me talking about stuff that I've never spoken about before, and things that I wouldn't have spoken about before. So I'm just being quite honest with myself as well in that song. And that's basically what the whole song's about. It's just about me letting people, giving people an insight into my life, my opinions and views on certain things, and certain things that I get asked all the time on Twitter, and I don't really, well, I can't really answer everyone, so I thought I'll put it in a song and put a lot of the stuff that people ask me and speak about, I'll put it in a song and let you know how I feel. So that's what What Do We Do is about. The video, I just wanted to I wanted the video to be very minimal, in the sense of I didn't want nothing else going on around me to really take away from what I'm talking about. The video is just me in a suit, and the video is black and white, so that's the feel that I wanted, and I think I got it as well. If it's a feature, I just want people to remember my verse, so I will go hard, like especially on if my verse is not first. So if it's a feature, I will write stuff. I will write. There will always be a part in my verse that you will remember. I always, when I do a feature verse, I always want there to be a line in there that you're gonna remember. Oh, yeah, you remember Frisco's verse? Oh, he said this, and that should make you know what verse they're talking about. So that's the angle I use. That's the approach I use when I do features. And my music myself, it depends what track it is, what type of track it is I'm doing. Because if it's like a reflective kind of song, then the lyrics are gonna be, I just want it to be so real, no hold bars. I just want to tell the 100% truth, and I want people to kind of relate. And even if you ain't been through what I'm talking about, I want you to know what I'm talking about, because you might not have gone through what I've gone through, or gone through it in the way that I've gone through it, but you'll be able to relate and you know what I'm talking about, or you've seen someone else go through it. You get what I'm saying? So if it's a reflective song, that's the angle that I come in at. And then if it's like a grimy, dark kind of, just the typical grime song, then it's just I'm just trying to go hard. I'm trying to go for whoever's neck is on the tune. I'm just trying to go hard, basically. I just want you to remember, when you hear the tune, I just want you to screw your face up, start bopping. That's the vibe that I've always taken when I'm doing like your typical grime song. You know what I'm saying? And obviously I'm a competitive MC. Well, grime is a competitive scene, so I'm gonna want to be the best. I'm gonna want to have the best flow. I'm gonna want to say the best things. So that's the way I can stay motivated, really. This is an instrumental that I first heard from Tim and Barry when I done the Tim and Barry TV. They gave me this to spit on. This was like about 4 years ago, maybe. About four years ago. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Can't remember exactly when, but roughly about 4 to 5 years ago. And they brought this beat, and I heard the beat, and I fell in love with the beat straight away. This was then. I was on to Tim and Barry to try and track down the producer and whatever not, and try and get me the beat, and it didn't happen. But I'm glad it didn't happen, because then we wouldn't have this tune. So then, fast forward 4 to 5 years, I've come across the beat again, and I've listened to it. You know when you hear something again on fresh ears after you ain't heard it for how many years? It sounded like a new song to me again. And I said, right, you know what? I bought it off of iTunes, because I found it on iTunes, bought it off of iTunes, downloaded it, and this was around the time when I was first starting to make music for British nights, and in that whole kind of vibe of nighttime music, basically. So yeah, I've downloaded it. I've written the 2 verses to it. Because it's like when I downloaded it, the verses just came. They just came to me. So it's like, yeah, this tune's definitely meant to be. Because the verses just came. Everything that I wanted to talk about just came out. It wasn't hard at all. So from that, I think, who was meant to do the chorus again? No, I was thinking of who am I going to put on the chorus. And then in the end, I just said, you know what, I'm going to do the chorus myself. And I done the chorus, and the chorus was good. Everyone liked the chorus. Well, not everyone. The man them around me liked the chorus. And But when I listened to it, I liked it, but I just thought this song's so big, it deserves to have a chorus that is going to reach out to more people, and maybe my chorus might have not have done that, it might have not have had that power to do that. So I made the decision of taking that chorus off, and I was in the studio one day finishing off, I think I was finishing off one of the verses or changing something on one of the verses, and Chip was in the studio at the time, and he heard the tune, and he was vibes into the tune, vibes into it, vibes into it, vibes into it. He's saying how much he liked the song and whatever, not. And then that was that anyway, didn't make nothing of it, went home. When I'm looking at my track list now, I'm thinking, alright, I need to get this tune finished off, alright. Who am I going to put on the chorus for this tune? You know what? Chip was saying he was liking the tune, you get what I'm saying? He was vibes into it. Let me holler at him. I hollered at him, and he's obviously, he's obliged. He was happy to do it, so we've gone studio, he's nailed the chorus, and the rest is history. Once the tune was finished and I heard the chorus and I heard everything mixed down and whatever not, I said, yes, this is the outcome I wanted, this is the feel that I wanted, the tune needed this. So then we decided that we're going to shoot a video for it. It was only right, we could not have a tune like that and not shoot a video for it. And then we said we're going to put the tune out, drop the video. We're not going to play the tune, we're not going to give the tune to no one until the video drops. So we do it as an exclusive kind of thing. You get what I'm saying? But by that time, a few people in the ends had heard it, and it was just, the tune was just attaching to everyone straight away. So when I've told people that I'm doing the video, everyone just showed love and come out. Everyone from the ends came out. Not even just from North or just from Tottenham. There's a lot of other ends there as well. So we got everyone that came out and showed love and represented on that day. The weather was great. It was like it was just meant to be, man. It was a blessing, to tell you the truth, because you know how video shoots go. It's like it's hard work, man. It's hard to get so much people in one space and everything going smooth, and so I was just grateful for that the whole day went smooth. Everyone came out, everyone I asked to come came. I got everyone who I wanted on camera, all the features, all the cameos. Yeah, so it was a blessing. I was happy with that. I actually had to go through a lot of singers. Like, there was a couple hooks that I used other singers on, and when they sent me back what they done, and it's like nah. I want it to be in a British accent. Like, and even one of the tunes on the EP called Life. There's a track called Life. Skepta produced it. Features Life White, and he's singing in a very British accent. But even when we vocaled it, I had to tell him to change certain words, because it was like subconsciously he was doing it. It wasn't on purpose, but subconsciously you could hear certain twangs coming out of that. And I was like, nah, you know what? Make sure you do that in this way, so you're actually overdoing it, so it doesn't sound like, you know what I mean, you're singing in an American accent, because I think that's one of the main things we're missing in the UK, is that singers singing in our own accent. It's no different to MC rapping like a American rapper. So I don't really think there's any difference with a singer. The singer should be singing in a British accent as well. So I think that's something that was like a conscious decision. I was very aware of that. I wanted every singer on there to sound British, unless it was an American singer that I was using, which it weren't. So I mean, but yeah, I think there's a lot of singing on there as well. I would say there's a lot of singing choruses on there, because I've explained this to, like, anytime I go and do my radio interviews and whatever not, and they say explain why you called it British Nights and explain how you came up with the idea and whatever not, and I was saying, like, the vibe is very soulful but very dark at the same time, so it's a good contrast, but a good balance. Yeah, so there's I wanted it to, the actual music itself is soulful, so obviously to put a vocalist over it is just like the natural kind of thing to do. Yo, yeah man, this one out here, kind of knew that everyone was gonna love this tune, man, and that's the truth. When we finished making the tune in the studio, we even said to each other like, nah, this one's gonna be a banger. No, you can just tell. And so said, so done. This is like one of the tunes that everyone likes on the EP. Like everyone, yeah, out here. I kind of knew that because the EP is quite. It's not really a hype jump up EP, and this is one of the most jump up tunes on there. So for the people that still want to hear the jump up, I thought, yeah, I've got to put something in there for you. You get me? And obviously the tune was relevant at the time. I ain't put out no music. I ain't put out a body of work in like 2 years. I've done singles here and there. I haven't put out no compiled CD or release of music in 2 years. So I thought, you know what, it's the right time to drop this EP. And people are like, Frisco, where you been, man? What you been doing? So I thought, yeah. I still been out here though, because even when I say I ain't dropped nothing in 2 years, it's like it don't even seem like it's been that long. Because I've been out here still, you get me? So that's how this tune came about. And I got a big up Splurge Boys as well, man, because they had a lot of input on this song. Not only did they produce it, they had a lot of input into the vibe and how certain things were vocal and how I'm saying certain things. Because like when I make songs, when I go in the studio and I make songs up, I'm very vocal on how I think certain things should sound, and I'll give advice and I will take advice. And I think that's one of the main things with being an artist. You gotta know how to take advice as well. Even you can never know it all. You get what I'm saying? Even if you think that you're a better MC or you're a better artist, or you might have been more experienced than that person, but you gotta be able to listen to what someone's saying to you. And there were certain parts of my verse in Out Here where I done it a different way, and when we was listening back to it now, T was like to me, yo, try and say it like this and see how it sounds. I was like, I wouldn't normally say it like that, but you know what, let me try it out, innit? Because you know what I'm saying, you never know. And I did, and it sounded better. So that might have not been something that I might have not have tried if I was just vocal in the song by myself. That's why I say it's good to be in a session with the producer, because he'll bring certain things out of you and you'll bring certain things out of them. So it's like it works both ways. Big up Splurge Boys, because I think they're good producers, man. They're proper musicians, and that's what I like working with. I don't like working with just beat makers. I like working with musicians that are out to make a good song. They're not just giving you the beat and tell you to do your thing over it. Nah, that's why I haven't really given out beats like that. Because if I give you a beat, I don't want you to just take the beat and then not do nothing with it. If I give you a beat, we gotta know that, right, you know what, we're in studio, right, I'm gonna come studio with you and whatever not. Obviously that's not gonna be able to be the case all the time, but most of the times that's how I'd like it to be. You know what I'm saying? So big up Splurge Boys, because they made 2 tracks on the EP. They made You're Gonna Like It as well, and feature on that. So yeah, they kind of set the tone for those 2 songs. If I be totally honest with you, they kind of set the tone for those songs. I set it off with Out Here with the first verse. I wrote the first verse, and then put the chorus down. No, sorry, put the chorus down first, and then I wrote the first verse. And then I thought, because I had a different second verse, and I wasn't really too sure. I wasn't 100% sure of it, so we left it, come back to it another day, and did another session. And when I come with the new second verse, man was like, yes, this is the one, trust me. And then we wrapped it up there. So I think all the music on British Nights it kind of had that kind of process. It wasn't just yeah, I'm gonna put the bars over this tune and yeah, I'm murking. Nah, it was proper. There's a lot of thought going into it, and I hope people can sense that when they listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that I would normally do and say and speak about, I ain't really speaking about, or every song has its own meaning. Not just meaning, every song has its own story behind it, really, is what I want to say. Every song's got its own story behind it. It's not just I've thought of a concept and wrote about it. I've done it for a reason. I've gone through something to make me write that song. So and I think some of the mixtape music that I've done in the past, it hasn't always been like that. Like, most of the times it's through experience, but sometimes you'll be able to sit down and say, alright, cool, what we're gonna make this tune about, and then go at it like that. And I was kind of tired of going at music like that. I wanted to just not do no music and then make a song when something's come to me. That's why I took that little break. I think that's how music should be. You should go through stuff and then get the idea and start speaking about it in your head. That's how I do it. I might go through something now, and then I'm driving away, I'm thinking about it in my head. I'm thinking of stuff that I can put in a lyric. How am I going to put this into a lyric now? Do you get what I'm saying? You know, once I've got the lyric, I just got to make sure the music's right. And that's what I've done with most of the tracks. I just found the stuff that I wanted to talk about and made sure the music was right, instead of finding the beat and writing bars to it. I just came up with the concepts and came up with what I want to speak about first, and then go into the tune. And I think that way the tune's more potent and more effective. It just means more, I think. I think it's leading me. It's definitely leading me up into the album, or putting me in the right space musically to make the album sound how I want it to sound. But it's also capturing a time in my life as well. So it's a bit of both, I would say. But definitely putting me in the right space, on the right mood, and the right mode to start making more album music.